Alright, I wanted to make sure to show you in between the top and the glass. So I've got the glass stapled to the tack strip. I noticed in the last video I was holding the tack strip the wrong way. And make sure you don't put it upside down when you staple it, because it feels like the curve would go with the window, but it actually goes backwards. So you have to hold it up and stretch the material to force it to curve this way. And then when you finally hold it at the right direction, it should have the right contour. Alright, so when you get to the ends, we have the gap of the marks in between, if you can see that. And then staple these pieces over also. I've cut the holes for all our bolts to go through, studs. I still have to cut these two. And now I'm ready. Oh, also, make sure you don't forget this elastic strap. It just helps guide the window down when the top's going down. So pull that down, make sure you don't go too far over one way or the other. It should go right next to the window about there. And then staple down here. So you just give it a little stretch where the ends about met up. That's all ready. I've got my cables both ran down each side of the top. Make sure you put the correct cable in the right side. So here's the driver's side. It goes down that way. So don't put the passenger side on where it's like that. Backwards, you know. So double check that before you run them through the top. Now I'm going to staple the top onto these bars, and it continues past the gap. So this one's a little tricky. You want to make sure you do all this correct. I'm going to give you all the tips I can. That's what I've learned. We can see the mark of the old binding. This is binding, if you can see the edge of it. It's ran around the edge of the raw material. So that thick binding ran right over that mark at an angle. And remember, this main line goes in the center of the tack strip. So we're going to start here and give it a nice pull and tug stretch around, making sure our line stays in the center, and start stapling. We're going to staple back. And then make sure to hold these two bars separated away from each other and continue stapling the rest of the top around to here. They usually stop right in front of this bolt. If you stretch it a lot, it may come a little further. So there you go. Once I get to that point, we'll be putting the top in the vehicle. And once again, I've got everything cleaned in the vehicle. I'll show you that real quick. So I'll wipe the well liner down, armor audit. Wiped all the frame down I could. Ready for the new top. Oh, here's one important thing. I'm keeping the pads. I double checked everything. We have a very important part here. I'm glad I came out here. 24.5 inches. And you'll have it on the paperwork to your top. Double check on different models. So we got 24 inches from the edge of this frame, from the edge of this trim, to the center of this bow. Should be 24.5 inches. With the front latched and tension pulled back on this bow. And you should get a measurement there. Alright, next video.